Welcome back to another episode of the Rise Podcast, featuring the lovely Kelsey Jurewicz.
Hello, everybody.
So, Kelsey, tell me a little bit about your experience on Love Island.
Okay.
So you were on there for what? How long was the whole experience?
So, I would probably say a full month. A full month I was there.
And they flew you to where? Fiji?
Fiji.
How was that?
It was an experience because I'd never flown anywhere like out of the country by myself. So it was like super scary. Didn't know what to expect. I've never been to Fiji either. Like the farthest I've been is Turkey, which is pretty far. But Fiji is like, I don't know, like people were telling me like scary. I don't know what was going to happen, but.
They're telling you scary things?
Like, I don't know. You know how like every time you fly, someone always has something negative to say about a country or a state or anywhere you're going. So it's like I was getting nervous. And on top of that, I was going by myself without family. Mm-hmm. I didn't know what to expect. So, and on top of that, I didn't even know if it was legit. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, it was just like a whole mixture of like, am I going to get kidnapped? Is this a real thing? Is this okay?
How did they reach out to you?
So, originally, I had a casting producer or casting director, I guess, reach out to me on Instagram. Her name was Cherish. She said, you know, I think you'd be a great fit for the television show that's going to be aired on CBS. If you want to hear more details, like, please contact me. So she gave me her number. I just called her and I was like, hey, I'm interested. Like, what is this about? Basically, she just explained that it's going to be a reality show of young men and women who are single, trying to date and potentially find a match for one another. And she said it's not going to be a trashy reality TV show like some others.
Quickly find out that wasn't the case.
It's not supposed to be trashy, you know, so it's supposed to be very, like it's really supposed to be targeted at young couples who really want to be together and to find a match. So me being single since high school, you know that, like, I was like, all right, like, I'm going to try this. I live in Delaware. Like, I don't have anything other to lose. So I was like, all right,
try to find some love.
I was like, let's do an interview. So I think we did a Skype interview, if I recall. It was just basically answering questions about, you know, relationships and myself and what I do and things like that. And, she basically said, yeah, I'm going to hand this into my producers, and I think next month we can actually fly you out to meet the producers and go from there. So I was like, okay, cool. So I like
flew you out to LA?
Yeah, so I wasn't expecting a call back. I don't know why. I was just like, this was fun. Like, it was cool experience to do. And then she called me, I think, that following week, and she's like, guess what? We're flying you to LA. Like, you're going to go meet the directors, blah, blah, blah. And I was like, this is really happening. Okay, cool. So it was really weird because I guess there wasn't like a NDA per se, but we weren't supposed to talk about it to anybody. So me working the full-time job that I was working at, I was like, how do I go about telling my boss that
take a month off to go and film
exactly, or that I'm even
MTV
interviewing
show.
for a TV show. So I was like, how do I go about doing this? So, you know, I went and talked to my boss and I was like, hey, like, I can't really tell you what's going on, but it has to kind of do with, I guess, me and
TV.
Yes, I can't really say anything, and it was sucked because me and my boss are really close. I've been working at the company since I was 2019, I think, 19 or 20. So I was really close with him, and he was just like, okay, like, do what you need to do. So I took a week off to go to LA, and I actually brought my laptop. I was working. Yeah, because I had a lot of time downtime because it was just an interview, like an hour a day, which wasn't bad at all.
If you don't mind telling them, where do you work?
Oh, I work for Accelerate Mortgage. So mortgage. Am I supposed to be looking at that?
No.
Okay, because that makes me nervous. Yeah, a mortgage company. I've been there since I was 19 or 20. Full-time job. So.
And she kills it too.
Thank you. So I went there. I was very nervous, like I said, because I didn't know if it was legit. I was like, how do I know this is a legitimate thing and it's not, you know, you're kidnapping me? Because you never know nowadays, like with the whole
social media.
It's scary. So like I wanted to make sure it was legitimate. She sent me over like all of her papers and cards and things like that and websites.
Google
so
them.
Yeah, it was confirmed that it was legit. So I went there. The only person I told was my mom and my sister, just immediate family.
Of course.
And
keep it low key.
Yeah, and I went there and I was super, super nervous. I mean, living in Delaware, this doesn't really happen often, and I never really thought I was gonna be doing something like that, I guess. I don't really know. Like, I never thought
Put
of that.
Delaware on the map.
Yeah, I was just like, okay, this is happening. So I think there was 3 interviews that I had to do. And, you know, it was basically like this. They set up a camera, and there was probably like, the first one was probably 3 producers at first, and then a couple people standing behind just watching. And they just basically asked the same questions they asked in the Skype. And I drank a little bit before just to kill my nerves. So I was like nice and bubbly and fun and whatever. And I just remember going back to my hotel room, and I was like, yeah, I don't think I did very well. So I called my mom. I was like, I don't think I did well. I think, you know, I'm going to be flown out tomorrow, because they said if you do poorly your first interview, they'll fly you back out.
Why do you think you didn't do good?
Just because I guess I don't have any, like, I don't know.
You felt like you were, like, uninteresting or something?
I feel like I don't know. Like, I just felt like I was nervous, or maybe I was, like, portrayed wrong, so I didn't know what they were looking for. On top of that, I was just completely myself, and I was just like, you know what, whatever happens, happens. I'm not going to stress about it. So I got the call that night in the hotel room, hey, you have another interview tomorrow. You know, dress up again. You always have to, like, dress up, dress nice, like you're in Fiji, which was funny, because, like, they're trying to, you know, dress the part, look the part, exactly. So
did they provide you with clothes, or did you have to, like, pick out a whole wardrobe before you went there?
Oh no, I had to pick out all my clothes before I went there. Yeah. So I got past the 2 interviews, everything was great, and they basically said, we'll contact you within a month, you know, if we want to put you on the show. So I was like, there's no possible way, like, this is a thing, like, it's not going to happen. So I'm just, like, living my own life, you know. I think it was the summertime, so it was June. My birthday just passed. I was spending time with my family, going down to the beach. And I remember I was walking on the beach with my sister, and I was talking about it at the time. And I was like, yeah, I don't think I'm going to hear back. And I get a phone call from Cherish. And Cherish is like
that night?
While I'm walking on the beach.
Oh, shit.
Yeah, I was walking on the beach, and she goes, pack your bags, you're going to Fiji. And I was like, oh my God. I was like, so I'm going to be on this television show? And she's like, yeah. And I was like,
what was that moment like?
Okay. I just remember walking on the beach, and I was like, oh, okay. Like, I was like freaking out. I was with my sister and my mom, so that was really good.
Like, you were excited, nervous, scared?
Everyone, we were all so excited, so nervous. I was like trying to plan, like, okay, I need to get 4 weeks worth of clothes, because, you know, they weren't providing clothes. I need to get so many bikinis. I need to get my hair done. I need to do this, get my nails done, like everything. And I was trying to ask every question in the book, like, am I allowed to bring this, or am I allowed to, you know, bring your own hair products? And it was just like all these questions, and I literally left. I think they gave me not even a full week to do all of this.
Really?
So I had to call off work. I was like, Jeff, my boss, I was like, Jeff, I am so sorry. I know this is very short notice.
Another month.
Yeah, short notice, but I need a month off of work, and thankfully, you know, my boss was very, very understanding about it.
That's because you've been rocking with him for a while.
So I was like, thank you so much. You know, I packed my bags. I went to Fiji, and yeah, I was there. I think it's what was it called? I forget what it was called. Lockdown. It was called Lockdown Week. So you have a full week of being there with no phone, no communication with your family, no texting. They take your phone. They even take your hotel key card, so you can't go in and out. It's very locked down because they don't want people knowing that you're there for filming. They don't want people asking questions. So you're basically... Is it at like
a random resort?
Just a random resort, yeah. So
while there's other people there?
Mm-hmm.
That's pretty
And it
crazy.
was funny because we had chaperones. We had babysitters, basically babysitting us, taking us to breakfast, taking us to the pool, taking us to the gym. And the reason we had chaperones is because the other girls were there in the resort. The other guys were like 2 hours away in another resort, but all the women were stuck in the same resort, so we weren't allowed to see each other until we were actually on the show. So I remember like a couple times, like I would turn around and be like, oh my God, I think that's like, you could tell if they're American and we're in Fiji, and like most of the people that come to Fiji are
good looking.
Yes. So anyway, so I was like, oh my God, I think that's one of the girls. And I just remember like asking my chaperone, like, I think that's one of the girls. She's like, don't look. Like it was like we weren't allowed to look at them, do anything. It was just really funny. Weird. Yeah, so I was trying to like piece things together. I'm like, oh, she's really pretty. Like I wonder what she's gonna be like on the show. Like trying to just like prepare myself. And I just, after that, it was like the full week. I was getting a little anxious because I'm really close with my family as well. My mom, I talk to her literally every single day. whether it be text, call, whatever, and my sister
So
all
you
the
probably
time.
had crazy homesickness.
Oh my gosh, I didn't think I was gonna make it. Like, I was literally like, I cannot do this anymore. Like, I physically can't. But after that week was over, they basically said, I think it was, I can't I can't remember, but they basically said, you need to wait another week. We thought we were gonna have you on as the first 6 girls, but we're actually relocating you to maybe the next week or the week after, depending on who you like. So they said, this is a good thing for you because you can watch it, you can watch this television show while it's happening and say, I like this boy, I'm gonna go in now. So they gave me, I guess, like the upper hand. I don't know if I'm supposed to say this. Sorry, Love Island. Sorry.
That's pretty cool,
yeah, so I was allowed to watch them on TV, and I was like, oh my gosh, like, I like her. He's really cool. I can't wait to meet her. And I was just watching all behind the scenes in the hotel room. So that was really cool. And I would, meet with the producers probably once or twice a week, telling them like updates, like, she's really cool, or I really like him. Like, I think he's going to be a good fit for me. And I just remember, like, I thought Yemen was going to be, like, the one for me. I was like, I know it. He's so cool. He's in real estate. I don't know if you watched it, but, like, he was in real estate, so I thought we'd, like, mesh together really well. So I just remember I was like, oh, my God, how many more weeks till, I'm there? So I think it was the 3rd week I was still in the hotel room, and I was like, what is happening? Like, am I going to be on? Are they just BSing me? Like, what's happening? So I finally met with them. They said, all right, you're going on. I think it was Sunday night. You're going on Sunday night. Like, that's your night. So I was like, all right, I'm ready. Let's do this.
What was the mental preparation?
Oh, I was so scared, like, so freaking nervous.
I would have been
so
in my
scared.
room, like,
Yeah,
jumping
I
up
was
and
like,
down.
can I drink before? Like, how do I do this? Thankfully, they had 3 girls come in and 3 new boys come in. So I came in with 2 other girls.
Okay.
So it was very much less stressful,
yeah,
because
you
can bond with them, saying what's going to happen, what are we going to expect, what's going to, what are we going to do, who we're going to match with, connect with. So I actually became really close with Marley and Asada because of that. Those are the 2 girls that came in with me.
Do you still talk to them?
Yeah, I do. We have a group chat, all of us, like all the Love Island people on Instagram, and then, we have everybody's numbers, and I'll text. I actually saw Asada not too long ago, and when was it? October, for Halloween.
Okay.
So we hung out. So yeah, she's not far.
Do you still do like promos for Love Island with stuff like that, or no?
I don't.
Like, I know in the summer after you did like something in New York, right? Like a meet and greet.
Oh yeah, that was the meet and greet. But we did that all on ourselves. Like, we just wanted to like
Oh really?
meet the fans, and like, because they kept asking, so we were like, all right, let's do it. And Love Island was going to do, I guess, like a meet and greet, but it was in LA.
Okay.
And I had no more PTO left, so I was like, you know what? Probably shouldn't be taking more PTO after taking a whole month off.
So let's just do New York.
Exactly. So, okay, so yeah, so I just remember we were standing in front of the villa, about to go on, and they were like counting us in. They're like 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, you're live, go. And we were like, oh, this is a real thing. It's happening now. So we're walking in, and it felt like, you know how you see people on TV and they look a certain way, and you finally meet them in person. It was so different. Like, I was like, I'm used to seeing you like on a TV screen, and this is really weird. But everybody was super nice, super welcoming.
How different was it, like seeing them from the TV screen to in person?
It was just so different. It was so different. Like,
are their energies different, or?
Yeah, like everything felt different. Like, it felt like I was in a TV screen, like a TV box, because like I'm so used to seeing them. So it was like going into the TV screen. I don't know.
You like visualizing yourself on the TV?
Yeah, right? And I was like, I don't know what's happening. I don't know if I sound like an idiot. Like, I don't know. But it was a really good first day because I don't know if you saw, but they split the guys and the girls up. So we just had the opportunity to hang out with the boys with no girls interfering. So it was just a cool day just to get to know them and see their personalities without, because everyone was already coupled up at that time.
Really?
I came in halfway through, I think more than halfway through. Everyone already had their matches, so it was like really hard to go in there and try to take someone's man, basically,
Is that what they were like trying to get you to do?
I mean, that's the name of the game. You go in and you have to find the best connection for you. So if you're with somebody and somebody else walks in and you have a better connection, sorry, that's what happens.
Was a lot of things like scripted?
No, nothing was scripted.
No?
Literally, not one thing was scripted, like, at all. Like, they always, even, I remember being in the I guess the confessional room, whatever, and I would, you know, ask the person, like, what should I do? Like, help me. Like, I don't know what to do. And they're like, we physically can't tell you what to do. This is your life, and you have to live how you would live your life day to day. And we can't sway you in any way. We can't persuade you at all. So it was it was hard because, you know, I'm used to talk to my mom for advice.
Mm-hmm.
I call my mom up and I'm like, hey, you know, help me with this. But I didn't have anybody.
Talk me through this.
I didn't have anyone to have advice or take advice from. Yeah. So I was by myself. I didn't know. I mean, just that in itself makes you grow so much as a person because you have to rely on you and your brain, and that's it, and nobody else. Because you don't know these people. I mean, no offense, but like, you can't really trust them. Like, you don't know whether to take what they say with a grain of salt or, you know, if they're backstabbing you, because we're all here for the same reason, you know? Mm-hmm. So that alone made me grow so much as a person.
What was like the biggest lesson that you learned from that?
I think being on my own, because like I said, I am best friends with my mom, and like, she's by my side. I'm with her every weekend. I go over their house and have dinner with them, have a sleepover, whatever. So being by myself and really not being able to talk to anybody, that was like, it made me 100% grow. And I think I'm a better person because of it, because now, you know, when I have an issue or problem, like, okay, I need to figure this out on my own. Like, I'm an adult, I can do this. So that
Did you not feel that way before?
I mean, I did, but like, I always fell on my mom for support and comfort, and, you know, it's healthy to an extent, but I think everyone should be independent and everyone should have their own brain and thoughts, and it made me really
make decisions on their own.
Exactly. It made me really think about my actions and how it's going to affect, you know, point A to point B. So it was just a lot of decision making on my own. I think that was one of the biggest lessons. Like, I can do that. You know, I don't need somebody to hold my hand or need somebody to guide me. I can do this on my own. That was a really big lesson. What else? I don't know.
Do you think that it definitely translated to your personal life now?
I think so. It was very overwhelming coming back because I didn't have my phone for a month. Like, imagine not, in this day and age, not having a phone for a full month, completely off.
And your DMs pop on the daily,
it
so like
crazy.
After a whole month, your shit must have been fucking crazy.
So it was insane. Like, coming back and just reading all the comments, positive, negative, it was just the most overwhelming thing I've ever.
Talk about that. So what was like the negative comments?
Oh my God. I just remember coming back and it was like, she's orange. Like, why does Weston like her? She's not pretty. She's not good enough. Like,
wow, they were saying
so-and-so's
stuff
better.
like that?
Yeah, they were just ripping. I mean, it was just not just me, everybody. People don't understand that people on TV or people on social media are real people with real emotions and real feelings, and you're saying this on a comment and you think it's not going to affect it, but like, I saw it, you know, and it, not saying that like it affected me and I cried like all the time, but like, we see it and you're like, wow, damn, like, that's really how you feel, you know. But I came to learn that you have to take that with the greatest of great assaults, you know, because when people are...
Because everyone has opinions.
Exactly.
Opinions are like assholes.
Exactly.
You know, so
people
can't let their opinions affect you and your mental state.
Mm-hmm. And people that talk negatively about a person that they don't even know shows a lot about their character.
Of course. And
it shows that maybe they're not so happy inside that they have to put others down. So I tried to step outside of, you know, myself and say, you know what, this is why they're saying this. It has nothing to do with me. And they're just expressing their anger towards another outlet, which happens to be me. So I had to take that route and just focus on the positive comments and replying to you know, my fans. I don't know if I don't know how to call them.
Definitely have fans.
You know, DMing the girls, because I think at the end of the day, what happened, like I said, I don't know. Did you watch the show? I have no clue.
I watched a couple episodes.
Okay. So what?
And I definitely watched like all the highlights of you.
Okay, that's nice. Thanks. So you know, you're familiar with what happened at the end. I voted myself off. Mm-hmm. I think the biggest thing that I have learned and grown and really appreciated was that so many young women have reached out to me and you know, have expressed like, you are so strong, and you know, and it was even mothers reaching out to me saying, my daughter watched the show, and I just want to say thank you so much for being a positive role model for young women around the world that are growing up, because they see Kim Kardashian on the screen and they see all of these girls, you know, just flaunting,
that look perfect,
and you know,
then they do things specifically just to get money,
exactly,
or just to have like some type of fake love relationship.
Exactly. And
yeah, no, I commend you for that as well too.
Yeah, thank you.
Because you chose yourself over everything else.
Everything.
And that's the most important thing.
So it was just like, reading those messages really, really made everything worth it to me. Like, I would sit there and like read the messages. I was like, wow, like I really, and even if it was one person, like that would have made my day and made everything worth it, because, you know, I didn't have the best experience there because I didn't find anybody. I mean, I thought I did, but turned out not to be.
And after you've done a lot of positive stuff with it as well too.
Exactly, and I think everything happens for a reason, and I think there was a reason that I didn't find anybody, and I think that I'm a big, like we talked about earlier, I'm a big believer in the universe and what goes around comes around, and karma and law of attraction. I think there's bigger things coming for me, I'm hoping. I'm praying.
There definitely is.
Yeah, and I just think that, you know, as long as I can be a positive role model and, you know, really motivate women, whether that be fitness or whether that be just being more positive and, you know, choosing themselves and not being in a toxic relationship, is all worth it to me at the end of the day. So
that's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think that being in a relationship with one of those guys would have been a toxic relationship?
I mean, just because I didn't really connect with anyone, yeah. I mean, I would never want to settle with someone that I'm not truly happy with, and I think no one should settle, and I think that, you know, unfortunately there was really nobody there that I really had an insane connection with. Like, yes, of course, Weston and I got along, but, you know, he lives in Texas. How
is that going to work?
Exactly. So it's like, how is that really going to affect my life? Am I going to have to move to Texas? Like, it was like question after question, but like, you know, it was an awesome experience, and I don't regret anything, but I just think that for me, the best thing to do was vote myself off and to continue to be single, even though, you know, I've been single since high school. And I'm trying though. I mean, I think
you're gonna find someone.
Yeah, and
you're
I think
a great person.
Thank you. And I think that all that matters at the end of the day.
You change that. You're a wonderful person.
Thank you. I think all that matters at the end of the day is if you're consistently working on yourself, you're gonna find that right person. So I think that as long as you're staying motivated and you're passionate about your goals and dreams, and, you know, you're doing that and not just going out and partying every weekend and drinking and giving the wrong impression, you attract who you are. So if you're doing that, you're going to attract a club guy who's out every weekend. But if you're about making money and goals and, you know, having a schedule, you're going to have somebody that is very
It just sucks that the pairing of that is just like so few and far in between nowadays.
Yeah, I know. I mean, especially in Delaware, you know.
It
so
sucks.
It's like everybody knows everybody. Everybody has something to say about someone. And it's just like, can I just figure this out on my own? Like, I really don't want to hear somebody's 2 cents about how this guy did this 4 years ago, or how this girl did this 6 years ago. And it's like, we get it. Everyone is everyone.
Right.
You know?
And we're adults now. Like, it's fucking be mature about shit.
I know. I can't deal with it, but what can you do?
So, where do you want to move? Or, actually, let me ask this, since we're talking about relationship stuff.
Okay.
What type of person are you looking for? Obviously, someone that you can connect with.
Yeah. I definitely don't. It's so weird because the people that know me, I don't have a type. Like, I will date anybody, like literally anyone. I don't care what they look like, if they have a dad bod or they're muscular or whatever. I just really go after people's hearts, and I go after people who are genuine and who are motivated. And someone definitely that can make me laugh. I mean, I have a weird personality, so.
No, you don't.
Yeah, I mean, I do. I'm like goofy, you know. Like, I want someone to like mess around with, but also have goals and have someone that, you know.
To build with.
Exactly, on Sundays that we can go over the week and say, what could I have done better? And, you know, do that the following week and try to create goals with them and build with them, like you said. But also go see a movie Tuesday night and, you know, eat ice cream with them, you know. Like, just that balance.
Especially because Tuesdays are half off.
Yeah, exactly.
Half off movies.
Exactly.
It's the best time to do movies.
Exactly. But yeah, I mean, I'm not trying to force that, because I think once you force something, it's just not going to turn out right.
Not authentic.
Yeah. So, yeah, I mean.
Yeah, I've learned that too. Can't force anything with relationships.
I mean, that goes with everything in life. You can't
Yeah.
force anything, because what is going to happen will happen, whether you have a say it or not. So that's why, like, even with the Love Island thing, like, I was not stressing about it. I just said whatever happens, happens, and I'm just going to move on. And that's another lesson I learned. Like, you just can't stress about the future.
Mm-hmm.
You just have to wait and see what the universe has in store for you. I think that's my biggest thing, because I know this is not relationship related, but this is how I've always have been as a person. Like, I was working, before I got the mortgage company, the job there, I was working at Hooters, didn't know what I wanted to do, didn't know what I wanted to be. I was in school, I was so confused, and literally got a phone call saying, hey, do you want to apply for this mortgage job? And I was like, I know absolutely zero about mortgages, but sure. And now it's led me to, you know,
owning
my house.
Yeah. You gotta get a GLE.
Yeah, like, just like amazing things. And I think that, you know, the universe opens doors for you when you least expect it, but also when you are ready as well. And I think people sometimes get comfortable in their position, and they don't really, you know, strive to go towards another direction because they're scared of change. Like, I feel like, and that's a big thing in Delaware, don't you think?
Of course.
Like, nobody wants
likes
to change. You know, everybody.
They're set in their comfort zones.
It's literally like,
it's
I'll
annoying.
see people from high school, and I'm like, nothing has changed about you.
You're still
Not
doing
a
the same
single
thing.
I'm like, how are you still drinking on Main Street when you were doing that when you were 21 and now you're 26? Like,
right? Grow the fuck
5
up.
years? Where, like, what has changed? Like, you got a beard? That's it?
Yeah.
Okay, great. Like,
I
it's
don't
just-
understand Delaware people. Like, they're like, oh, Delaware, you know, I don't ever have to leave Delaware. Like, I'm gonna just stay here.
It's
You know, stay with the
crazy.
same group of friends that I've known my entire life and do the same thing that I've been brought up to do. Like, that shit's whack.
It's so
They
insane.
don't live.
Mm-mm. And that's why it's so hard, especially in Delaware, to find real friends and real people to connect with, because you are who you hang out with. And if you're hanging out with people from high school that are still the same, you're still going to be in that loop.
Yeah.
So I think it's awesome what you're doing, because you're meeting new people, you're going out and you're experiencing change, and you have those connections now, whereas other people don't. And that's why people always say, oh, everyone knows everyone in Delaware. But you've proved that wrong. You have met how many people from doing the podcast?
And I'm
Exactly.
not even from this state.
Yeah, exactly. You know what I mean? So it's like, you can do it. They're just scared to change.
Yeah.
You know?
People are scared of not just change. It starts with that comfort zone, I feel
Mm-hmm.
like. So where do you want to take it from now? So we had talked a little bit about this, you know, off the scenes.
Yeah.
You said you don't necessarily have a passion for the mortgage stuff that you're doing.
Yeah.
You know, but you love the workout aspect of social media and what you can do to influence other women around the world.
Yeah.
Where do you want to take it? Like, how do you want to use that influence now that you social media famous?
Right. I mean, I think it's awesome that I can literally go online and post a workout, and women are like, oh my God, I just did your workout today. That is the coolest freaking thing ever.
And they tell you that it helps.
Yeah, and I'm like, oh my God, like, you actually did my workout. That's so cool. So I think I'm definitely passionate about fitness and helping others and motivating others and just being a positive role model for women around the world. And I definitely want to pursue that. It's just so hard with a full-time job, you know that. So like I said, I believe in the law of attraction. I think the more I continue to do that, the more, you know, that
opportunities are going to open for you.
Exactly. So you never know if, you know, I don't know, I'm going to start making my own fitness plans or making my own fitness meals. I mean, people always ask me about macros, and maybe I'll create like a macro book, you know, specifically to help people that don't understand macros or that don't really know how to work out. Like, I'd love to do something like that. So I think.
So is that what your passion is?
I think
you
so.
found real passion in the workout realm?
100%.
And you've been killing it, honestly.
Thank you.
You've been super killing it.
I think so, because I have a routine down. I work out 5-6 days a week, and I love working out. That's my time to de-stress and really block the world out and, you know, hit a PR when I'm squatting, and it just like makes me feel good. But yeah, I think that's something that I'm really, really passionate about, and I think that is something that I can help. I think at the end of the day, what all that matters in life is that you are helping in this world.
Mm-hmm.
And if you aren't really doing any good, it's like, why are you, what's your purpose then? And I think, you know, it's all about that. And if I can help somebody, then I will be happy, and I'm hoping that I can do that.
That's
I'm
awesome.
hoping the more I go down that road, more opportunities will open.
And they will.
Yeah.
Doors will always open for you.
Yeah.
Especially because you have such a positive attitude and energy about it.
Yeah, hopefully, but then, I mean, like I said, like, I feel like,
You gotta get you a camera crew and
oh God,
some editors.
I'd be like, leave me alone, I'm sleeping. But yeah, I think, like I said, the universe, I think, always speaks to you, and I think, you know, in my mind right now, I have a very strong feeling that my next chapter is about to happen, and I'm just really excited to see.
It was a
what
growing
leads.
stage.
Exactly. Like, I'm still 100% growing. Like, I'm 25, about to be 26, and I think there's so much more than what I'm doing now. And I'm just really super excited about it.
Yeah.
To see
You
what's
were a
happening.
caterpillar, now you're about to be a butterfly.
Yeah, I'm so excited.
Well, thank you for being on this with me,
Thank you, I
and
appreciate
sharing
it.
your story
Yeah.
with everyone. Until next time, appreciate you guys for listening.
Bye, guys.
Peace.